Morning, Andrew.
Good morning, Karen.
Week 3, COVID, quarantine, isolation. And this is going to be probably, we're starting it off as a four-part uh, series about how our office is doing during these COVID times. We're going to have a very technical series with our IT guy, but I thought this one would be a good one to just kind of be real and talk about the real stuff, uh, maybe so people don't feel so all alone in this experience on a human level versus a technical level. So I'm going to start it off, and then we're just going to free flow like we always do. And that's kind of the point of this podcast is in a law firm like ours with quite a bit, 13-ish lawyers and a total of 30 people or so in the law firm, we value being in person. We always have, and this is not going to change it. The fact that we can work remotely doesn't change the fact that we prefer to work in person and that we will always mostly work in person. There is a lot of seminars right now going on of people that have, especially solo practitioners, people that are a 1 or 2 person law firm, saying, well, we've always been remote and here's how to do it. So the question's probably becoming, well, why aren't all attorneys? Why don't we just all go remote? And maybe that's a bigger picture for the whole world. Hey, we're all surviving right now. We're in lockdown in Washington State, and only essential businesses are supposed to be operating. So maybe that's the way that the world is going to be. Everyone's going to be in their own home and own pod, and these big buildings that have been built to house businesses, maybe those shouldn't have even been built. And maybe people are going to start breaking leases and I'll start working from home. And our whole society is going to change, go through a monumental shift where we don't even go to restaurants. Everything is takeout. Everything is an Uber or Amazon drone society. We'll all live in our little cubicles, just like Blade Runner or other futuristic post-apocalypse
Yeah, yeah,
apocalyptic movies. And the thought of that fills me honestly with a huge amount of dread, because if nothing else, this should be a preview right now into a future that we don't really want, because we are by nature a social creature. And tying this around to the office, the reason that we will always want to be together in some form or another is because of the synergy that and those moments of magic that are possible when you are with other people.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, you think about all the you wouldn't have until now been thinking about all the passive interactions you had, the passing, I guess, interactions that you have with people throughout the day. There's so many of them. And I think whether almost no matter where you fall on the introvert extrovert spectrum, most people get a little bit of energy out of even just being around other people during the day. Maybe not too much, maybe some people have their limits and they prefer to be alone most of the time, but there's so many of those interactions that it's not until something like this happens when you realize how much that adds up and how much is missing. I mean, I'm very lucky. I have my family at home with me, but other than that, I'm interacting with like the bird that keeps running into my window over here, like for some reason just wants to come inside. But that's my passing interaction going through the hall, not at the office right now. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
so if you go into our Seattle office, for example, it's a big open space. Our the launching place of our law firm is this big open space with a couple chairs and some art books, and beautiful. It's a beautiful space, artistic. And then there's our reception area with Rachel, and I mean that's just a joyful thing to come into the office and see Rachel and say, hi Rachel, how are you? Hi Karen, hi Andrew, hi Jessica, hi Lisa, hi Ann, Melanie, Fred. I mean, everybody.
Hmm.
It's kind of just a wandering place. And then if you walk around the corner, there's a table with a chess set on it. and we just play chess with each other. Now, some of us are way better at chess than others,
Some of
and
us cheat.
and other people, yes, I've noticed some cheating going on, and we play it without. It's not like one person against another. It's just like,
You pick
okay,
a side.
pick a side. Although I think some people change sides, and
Hmm.
there's could be some sabotage going on. But even that's funny. I mean, it's just these little moments of being able to interconnect with people that makes it a fun place to work. And then,
Hmm.
of course, we have our copy room for the paper that we try not to copy, and we have a really large uh, lunchroom.
Hmm.
So those are just kind of examples of things or fun things that places that we can move. But we also just walk in other people's offices. And for me, the importance of all of this is our ability to create. We need as plaintiff lawyers to be extremely creative and in a proactive way. We are always trying to figure out how we can outwit the defense and get full justice for our clients and uh, harness our angst or fury into a productive creative process. Creativity is something that you don't hear a lot of lawyers talk about. You think, oh, lawyers, they just fill out forms and they believe in rules and they follow the rules, but it's not like that at all, especially for our cases, which are amazingly
Yeah.
complex, some of them, and different.
Usually it can be hard to find inspiration for creativity just locked in your house. Yeah, absolutely. Whether it's other people, whether it's going on a run or going to the gym. I mean, anything that you draw from when you're a creative person, I think you usually need broader horizons than the walls of your house. Yeah, absolutely.
How are we going to survive this? I mean, it was supposed to be 2 weeks. We've of course started this 2 weeks before, so
Right.
we're we're at 3 weeks, knowing it would be about 5 weeks, but it's most likely going to be probably closer to 2 months that we're going to be remoting in, and we prepared for that. We are ready for that. But how is it going to affect not only us but other law firms and just our clients who some of them are do not have families and are not in houses.
Mm. I mean, I think we just don't know because this has never happened before, unfortunately. And we all just need to be very intentional about supporting one another. You know, there's no such thing as a spontaneous meeting anymore. You have to either arrange a video call or I guess you could just call people up and see if they answer. But you have to make a lot more effort to make those connections. And I think some people may otherwise start to feel really isolated. Whether it's your staff, uh, clients, the lawyers, and we just gotta all make an effort for each other.
So Nala is pacing this room and was just throwing herself out against the door trying to get Anne, who is of
Right.
course not here.
Right.
She hates the coronavirus. Well, she likes it because she's by me, but she's really missing her stimulation.
Hmm.
But she's being much better today because I have I have this. This is a
Oh,
spray bottle. She doesn't like to be sprayed. I don't ever spray her. I just put it up on the, Rachel came, put it on the other side of the door, and I have it here next to me so she can see it.
do you
It's a
use do you
deterrent.
do you use vinegar?
When she was a little
Yeah.
puppy and wouldn't stop biting us and stuff like that, it's like you don't want to spank them, but you can't let them keep biting you. And so vinegar, water. She
Hmm.
couple, all it takes is like 2 or 3 squirts, and then they know they never want to do that again, and then you just haul it around with you. I don't even know
No,
that this has vinegar in it.
probably not.
The other thing she hates is I experimented with the the air squirters.
Yeah, you love your little keyboard cleaning air
Yeah, just
guns.
she hates the air gun. So I just put it up on my desk when she can see it, where she can see it.
Yeah.
Now she's being very good. Anyway, um, well, as a person that values creativity, um, there are some aggravations here. As a person that values pushing and fast and movement and etc., there's a lot of aggravation here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm most concerned about. And I don't care if the defense lawyers hear us doing this, but they've stopped participating, most of them, in a timely manner, um, because they can. They know that we can't file motions right now, but just wait until we can. So we're going to go as business as usual, and we have deadlines, and they're supposed to be meeting the deadlines, and they're failing to meet the deadlines, and then they're just not even responding when we tell them to meet the deadlines. And we're just making charts and lists, and when the courts do start to open up again, we will file our motions and be able to get them to behave once more. But it really does highlight the the fundamental imbalance between a defendant that has an insurance company representing it,
Mm-hmm.
or a big entity that is self-insured and is representing itself, versus us who are representing the little people. Our need for the court system to get justice, it really highlights that dynamic of, hey, if you're injured and you expect the insurance company to treat you fairly, well, they're not gonna, unless there's a court system
Right.
to hold them accountable. They're not gonna. The power imbalance is so severe
Yep.
that we need that great equalizer. And with the great equalizer on pause, we're just watching a lot of bad behavior, frankly.
It's true. Yeah, and I mean, I just I again I wish they would the courts would put out some kind of guidance on what they expect litigants to be doing during this time. I understand if that's not a priority, but certainly it would be helpful in keeping the cases moving. But at a minimum, I would hope that if we have to go to the courts when they finally open and say, look, this is what we've been trying to accomplish during this time, this is the goose egg that the defense has been willing to cooperate with this entire time, and now we're even further behind. That there would be understanding that that was an unacceptable waste of time. We time doesn't stop. I mean, there's work that we can do. There's no excuse for I'm busy traveling right now. There's no excuse for I have a busy commute right now. Almost all the work we do is at a computer, unfortunately. Okay, so we're not going to do site inspections. We're not going to go and investigate a gym or a construction site. We're not going to do those things. But there's so much that we can do that there's really no excuse. And I hope that courts will, there are court orders in place for the case schedule. Those are court orders. People forget that those are court orders. Those are deadlines that are established by the judge, and they're not excused without the consent of the judge. And I hope that people will treat them that way.
Well, they're not going to treat them that way. And the way that I feel about it is, if you're a defendant insurance company, if you are a defendant in a case where you hurt somebody else or killed them, and you're using this time of coronavirus to take advantage that the courts are not able to do business because we don't want judges and jurors and others to get this and potentially die, then you kind of have a scummy heart. I'm sorry. And no judge is going to eventually be able to prevent you from having a moral, I don't know, epiphany that you are kind of scummy. And I just feel that people will get it all at the end. You may not feel the pain now, but if you are a person that is trying to take advantage of coronavirus to get leverage over someone that you hurt or killed, their family survivors, then you are low. You are low, low, low. You have to live with yourself. Your client has to live with itself, although insurance companies don't have consciousnesses or souls. But the people that you're
Certainly not the
representing,
latter.
people that you're representing, supposedly the people who actually did the deeds that hurt the other people or killed them, you're reflecting on, and your evil soul is going to infect everything. I can't believe that people are taking advantage of coronavirus in this way in the legal system. We are supposed to uphold the sanctity of the law.
Right. It, I believe in karma, and I think that it's gonna come back to them soon. Hopefully soon.
I'm so mean, aren't I?
Can
But
can can you tell we're bored?
I'm
But
so
this is
mean.
you're not well.
But this is how I feel. I don't want to say mean. I'm frank. I am very frank and I'm very direct. And the most aggravating thing that we are dealing with right now as plaintiff personal injury firms is watching the defendants walk all over clients that need court intervention to keep the playing
Right.
field level. I think that's horrible. It's a poor reflection on the legal profession. It's a poor reflection upon our society that's based upon a legal framework. And I wish people would knock it off, but they won't.
It's
So we'll
gonna
get
be a
them.
long.
We're going to get them later.
We're gonna get them later, and we're obviously feeling withdrawals of not being able to fight things in court. But
Yeah.
it we still owe it to the system that we serve in. We're governed by the judicial branch. We owe it to our system to be productive. Dang it.
I guess. Well, on the good news of all of this, and I keep bringing it back to tech, but our tech savviness wasn't bad before this happened. It just keeps getting better and better. We went through our second mandatory training yesterday that we had scheduled way before coronavirus came. And yeah, I know. But you're more of an advanced user than other people. And some people just having the repetition, it is what it is, having repetition, forcing yourself to play with a program is a good exercise, even if sometimes it's not, doesn't seem like the instructor is like super prepared. Did I just say that? But yes. Well, any thoughts as we're going to head, we're on the tail end of week 3 of being isolated in our law firm. Any thoughts on what we can focus on heading into week 4?
Oh boy. I say don't focus on the news. It's at best like confusing and at worst absolutely terrifying. I've noticed on Netflix that the 2 shows that are super popular right now are Pandemic and Outbreak, which is
Oh my,
really bizarre. But like so that for one, I think I just keep doing what we're doing is learn things that you can learn that will help you not just now but down the road. Efficiencies like 8 hours of a word class.
yeah,
Um, but no, I mean, just continuing to do what we're doing. I can tell you one thing: if not every office is paperless now, they will be in 6 months. Because oh boy,
thank
if we had to go to
goodness.
the office and get binders and bring those home, whew, yeah, we'd be in bad shape.
I
So
mean,
I think,
that's one of the biggest irritations I've had with defense firms is that they keep trucking their paper everywhere and they just get all in a tizzy when you're in deposition or trial and you have no paper and you're like, they're like, well, we want to see the exhibit. Give us the exhibit. And we say, well, you have the exhibit. It's in your computer. Well, we want a paper copy of it. Why? We want to be able to show it to the witness. Well, here's my iPad. They can use my iPad to see the same document.
you
Well,
know,
it's not as easy. What are you talking about? I mean, they're so resistant to it, and now they have no choice. Although some people are just working from the office.
what we can do, and maybe it'll be purely catharsis, is work on the rules regarding non-use of paper. And just make it clear we don't have to give you paper. There's no such thing as an original signature anymore.
I'm all for
And
that.
yeah, so
Yeah.
but as far as staying sane, I mean, just talk to people, man. I mean, this is a good time to just I've been catching up with people on LinkedIn and on just people I haven't talked to in years, just because, hey, why not? It's a good time for it.
All right. Well, I know that you're working on other things like we're doing demos for the office on doing deposition by Zoom and focus groups by Zoom. And we're just kind of creating different modules in the office to
Mhm.
enhance what we already do in person for the time that comes when we will return to our beautiful office in Seattle and our beautiful office in Hoquiam. And until then, I will see you during our next teleconference with, or not teleconference, remote recording session with our IT specialist, Ryan, who will uh, tell people how we've done this, how he's helped to set us up so that we could we could go remote in one day. With one day notice, we went remote.
Do you think I need to like translate, like closed caption style translation, Ryan?
Oh, don't worry. We will be having to definitely translate. I do really pretty good Ryan speak because I'm not I'm a good user, but I'm not a good creator of tech.
Mm,
But so everything that he says to me, I've figured out how to dumb down so that I understand it, which makes me a pretty good translator
okay.
for people in my situation. But yes, we will definitely have to do some things.
This is not a direct translation. This is a yes. Okay. Cool. All right. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks. Bye, Andrew.
Thanks. Bye.
Over and out.